Good evening. My name is Laura McKibben, and I will be presenting on behalf of staff the rezoning case RZ 25-0001, located at 2555 South Kipling Street. The applicant, Lisa Gard, representing property owner Michael Jordan, is proposing to rezone approximately 1.92 acres from 1-acre lot residential to mixed-use general suburban. The aerial image in this slide depicts the location of the subject site, located on South Kipling Street, between West Morrison Road and South Kipling Parkway. The zoning north of the site is 1-acre lot residential, R143. Properties to the east are zoned mixed-use neighborhood suburban, MNS. The properties south and west of the site are zoned mixed-use general suburban, MGS. All rezoning applications follow a process outlined in the Lakewood zoning ordinance. The process includes a pre-planning application, neighborhood meeting, formal application, public hearing before the Planning Commission, and then a final public hearing before the Lakewood City Council, where a decision is rendered. A neighborhood meeting was held on April 17, 2025, to introduce the proposal and gather feedback. The meeting was attended by residents and representatives for the applicant. Attendees were engaged in discussion and asked questions or provided comments on topics that include lighting, uses that can be proposed in the MGS zone district, vehicle trips, signage, and the overall rezoning process. Planning cases that require a public hearing must follow the procedural requirements defined in the zoning ordinance. Notice requirements were satisfied by sending notification to 172 tenants and owners within 500 feet of the property, 10 neighborhood organizations within half a mile of the subject property, published in the newspaper, posted at the Civic Center, and posted on the property. Referrals were sent to outside agencies. 4 responses were received, and none had objections to the rezoning proposal. The intent of the MG Zone District is to allow for mixed-use community commercial development, generally along arterial streets. Typical non-residential uses include those necessary to support the community. The district is intended to accommodate a higher level of motor vehicle activity, although pedestrian activity will still be accommodated and encouraged. The suburban context reflects a more auto-oriented environment, where the existing surrounding street pattern and access to adjacent residential neighborhoods is not conducive to the highest level of pedestrian connectivity. The context allows for a limited amount of parking to be provided between adjacent public streets and the development. Additionally, auto-oriented design elements such as drive-through facilities are permitted. The zoning ordinance has specific review criteria that is required for rezoning approval, which includes conformance with the intent of the zoning ordinance, compatibility with surrounding land uses or land uses envisioned in the comprehensive plan, and finally, one of the following items must be met: promotion of the implementation of the comprehensive plan, or there has been a material change in the neighborhood such that the rezoning would be in the public interest, or the initial rezoning was found to be in error. There are several differences with permitted uses in the R143 and MGS zone district. Unlike the R143 zone district, the MGS zone district allows for higher density residential, commercial, light industrial, public, civic, and institutional land uses, as seen on this slide. This slide continues to show the permitted uses in the MGS zone district. This slide shows limited uses that are permitted in the R143 and MGS zone district. Limited uses are permitted as subject to compliance with any supplemental standards identified in Section 1743 of the zoning ordinance. This slide shows special uses in both districts. Special uses are permitted with approval of a special use permit and are subject to compliance with Section 1743 of the zoning ordinance. The changes in dimensional standards between the two zone districts are as follows. The minimum lot size will change from 1 acre to no minimum lot size. The minimum lot width will change from 140 feet to no minimum. The maximum allowed dwelling units per lot will change from 1 unit to higher density with no max. Density is regulated by open space, parking, and landscaping standards. Setbacks change from a minimum of 25 feet for the front setback to a minimum of 10 feet and a maximum of 85 feet. The side setbacks change from 15 feet to 0 or 5 feet, and the rear setback changes from 15 feet to 0 or 5 feet. The max allowed height will change from 35 feet to 60 feet, while the open space will change from 65% to 20%, or 30% for all single-use multifamily developments. All rezoning applications are required to submit a conceptual land use plan that outlines specific elements that are unique to the site. The conceptual land use plan generally shows the proposed development pattern and location of site access, vehicle circulation, and developable area. Although this information was included to support the rezoning request, the Planning Commission should keep in mind that a rezoning approval does not constitute the approval of a specific development proposal, subdivision layout, or land use. The proposal meets the intent of the zoning ordinance because it will implement the vision, goals, and recommendations of the City of Lakewood Comprehensive Plan, promote the orderly development and redevelopment of land within the City of Lakewood, ensure the effective integration of development and redevelopment with surrounding land uses, ensure the economic vitality of the City of Lakewood, and promote mixes of commercial and residential uses within mixed-use zones. Envision Lakewood 2040 Comprehensive Plan. This is the primary document for guiding land use decisions. It is an important citywide document and tool that articulates the vision, values, and priorities for the future of Lakewood. Here is the future land use map from the comprehensive plan with the subject site highlighted. The pink area is a neighborhood hub. The proposed rezoning is compatible with the comprehensive plan and the surrounding land uses. The comprehensive plan designates the site as a neighborhood hub, which envisions uses found within the MGS zone district. The surrounding land uses range from residential, commercial, and utility land uses. The land uses that are permitted in the proposed MGS zone district are consistent and compatible with the mix of existing single-family, townhome, and commercial land uses adjacent to the site and in the surrounding neighborhood. The aerial image depicts the adjacent uses to the site, including single-family, townhomes, commercial uses such as office, storage, retail, gas stations, and a car wash. The properties within the neighborhood hub feature land use category. A rezone from R143 to MGS directly resolves inconsistency between the current zone district and the neighborhood hub future land use designation. The proposal supports sustainability through adaptive reuse of an existing single-family home and storage buildings rather than new construction. Rezoning enables a locally owned glass and window business to operate from a properly zoned location in Lakewood, contributing to land use diversity and industry mix. The business also creates high-quality local employment opportunities. Material change. The proposed rezoning is consistent with the surrounding established land uses. Over time, the surrounding neighborhood has transitioned to include more commercial and higher density land uses, resulting in a development pattern that supports a corresponding change in zoning for the subject parcel. The proposed zone district better aligns with the existing and evolving land use context, promotes compatibility with adjacent properties, and provides a logical extension of the surrounding commercial area. A traffic analysis and preliminary drainage report were submitted with the rezoning application and are acceptable. Final engineering plans will be required with future development proposals. Based on the information provided, staff finds the applicant submitted a request to rezone 2555 South Kipling Street from the 1-acre lot residential R143 to the mixed-use general suburban MGS zone district. A concept land use plan was prepared with the request to show general conformance with the MGS zone district standards. Notice of the public hearing was provided to property owners and residents within 500 feet and registered neighborhood organizations within a half mile as required by the Lakewood zoning ordinance. And all other notification and posting requirements have been satisfied, and the request was reviewed by appropriate referral agency. Staff also finds that the proposed rezoning promotes the purposes of the zoning ordinance as stated in section 17(1)(2), and the proposed rezoning is compatible with existing land uses or the land uses envisioned in the comprehensive plan, and the proposed rezoning promotes the implementation of the comprehensive plan, and the proposed rezoning is in the public interest. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the findings of fact and order, A through I, as presented in the staff report and recommend that the City Council approve rezoning case number RZ 25-0001. This concludes staff presentation tonight. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to coordinate answers with the appropriate party.